the fantasy baseball drafts happening as we speak for many people, and more during the week as well before Thursday's opening day on April 1st. But here's a few pitchers that are going to have breakout seasons and you should target in your fantasy drafts this season. The first guy is Ian Anderson of the Atlanta Braves, so one of the top prospects in the Braves system. Now he's going to have a starting rotation spot for this Brave team this season. And Anderson, he was solid last year in limited time and only 32 innings of work, but they're going to give him a rotation spot, and it's his time now. Atlanta, that's their only weakness, is starting pitching. And Ian Anderson, he's going about 9th to 10th round in most fantasy leagues right now. So the average pick he's going as well is 111 on the season. But I think Anderson, he's going to be a good fantasy player and definitely a guy who's going to break out, in my opinion. Last season in 32 innings of work, 3-2, 41 strikeouts, won a great 1.95 ERA, a 1.08 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. Obviously, a very small sample size, 4 or 5 starts for Ian Anderson last season in the 60-game shortened season, and he didn't start the season on the Braves roster, but they called him up in the second month, and this season they're projecting him 155 innings, 11 wins, 8 losses, 173 strikeouts, a 3.25 ERA, a 1.18 WHIP, and 15 quality starts. So like I said, he's on a Brave team. That's going to be a very good team, probably a top 3 or 4 team in the National League right now is the Atlanta Braves. And Anderson, I think he's going to do better than the 11 wins. I think he could reach the 15-win mark this season, and I think he definitely breaks out in his first full season in the major leagues. The second pitcher is another youngster who came up last season towards the end of the year, Sanchez of the Miami Marlins. So Sanchez, he was impressive in limited innings and limited starts as well last season. Was Sanchez last season, like I said, he was limited work like Anderson of the Atlanta Braves, but he was very impressive in my opinion in some of the games he pitched with Sixto Sanchez, and he was a big trade piece as well in one of the Marlin deals a couple seasons ago where they had that fire sale trading JT Realmuto to the Philadelphia Phillies, and Sixto Sanchez was the big return in that deal. And last season, 39 innings he pitched, 3 wins, 2 losses, 33 strikeouts, a 3.46 ERA with a 1.21 WHIP and 4 quality starts. And right now, his average pick is 138th in fantasy league. So he's going about anywhere from the 11th to the 13th round. But I think Sanchez is going to break out. He has electric stuff. And last season, he was very impressive, like I mentioned. And this year, they're projecting him 11-8, 155 innings, 140 strikeouts, a 3.37 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, and 15 quality starts. So Sanchez, I think, could even top those numbers with a low 3 ERA or even in the high 2s. I'm just big on this top prospect that was in the Marlins system, and I definitely think he has a breakout here. The next pitcher is Justice Sheffield of the Mariners. So Justice Sheffield, he was the big addition in that James Paxton deal a few seasons ago, and now James Paxton, he's back obviously with the Seattle Mariners after signing a 1-year deal in the offseason. But anyway, this is about Sheffield. And Sheffield last season, another guy who showed flashes and was pretty impressive in 55 innings of work last year, 4-3, 48 strikeouts, a 3.58 ERA with a 1.30 WHIP and 6 quality starts. So that's pretty good for a guy in the AL. And he was on one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball last season, was Sheffield with the Mariners. And he was a top prospect in the Yankee system for a reason. And obviously right now the Seattle Mariners, they look good in that deal, like I mentioned, getting James Paxton back. And right now Justice Sheffield, he's going very late in fantasy drafts, towards the later rounds from the 20th to the 23rd round. I've been seeing him go a lot, and his average draft pick is 246 on the season. And on this season they're projecting him 12-9 in 154 innings, 144 strikeouts, a 3.68 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, and 15 quality starts. So that's pretty good projections, and they're pretty high on him as well, the projectors for Justice Sheffield. And I definitely think he could be a breakout candidate this season at the starting pitching position for your fantasy team. And he's that definite steal late rounds in your drafts. The next pitcher is Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. So 2 Braves on this list here. And Max Fried, he's going to be the opening day starter. And last year, he was great for this Atlanta Brave team. But I think he's going to take it up a notch. Last season, short sample size, only 56 innings pitched. Let's see him pitch 170, 180 innings this year. And Max Fried right now, his preseason rank going into these drafts is 100. So you figure 9th to 10th round of most fantasy leagues. And he's getting picked on average the 90th pick overall. And last season in 56 innings, 7-0, 50 strikeouts, 2.25 ERA, a 1.09 whip, and 4 quality starts. So he's going to get a lot of opportunities. He's the ace right now with this Brave team till Mike Soroka comes back from the devastating Achilles injury last season. But Fried, he's going to do a lot of good things this year. I don't think the ERA will be that low, but I definitely could see him winning anywhere from 12 to the 17 game range. And this season, the projections are in 165 innings, 15-5 for Fried, 161 strikeouts, with a 3.22 ERA and a 1.23 whip and 17 quality starts. So that's pretty good projections. And that's the breakout type of season I'm talking about that I think Fried could have with the 15 wins this year. He's on a great team. They're going to give him a lot of run support. And I think he's going to be good once again this year. And the fifth and final pitcher that's going to break out this season is Jose Urquidy of the Houston Astros. So Urquidy, we saw him only throw 30 innings last season. But this guy, he's on a pretty decent Astro team still, even though they lost a couple guys in the offseason, obviously, with Houston. George Springer, the big bopper in the outfield. Josh Reddick, he left the team as well. But Urquidy, he's going to get some run support, I still feel. They got some good bats there in Correa, Alex Bredman, obviously, Gurriel, Jose Altuve. He could definitely have a bounce-back season. Michael Brantley says there's still tons of offense in Houston that could help their starting pitchers out and support them with good run support. And Jose Urquidy, I think this could be a good season for him. And right now, his ranking in preseason is 215. And he's getting drafted 191th overall on average. So he's going about anywhere from the 15th to the 18th round range. And last season in 29 innings, 1-1 record, 17 strikeouts, a 2.73 ERA, and a 1.01 whip in 4 quality starts. And the season projections here for Urquidy, 156 innings, 11-9 record, 130 strikeouts, a 3.29 ERA, a 1.06 whip, and 12 quality starts. But I think the ERA in the projection number here, but I think the wins could be more than 11. 15 to 17 is definitely possible, I think, for Urquidy. Obviously, if he stays healthy. And the quality starts, I think, could be more than 12 for him. This guy, I think he's going to break out. Like I said, he's on a team that's going to give him good run support. And I think he'll be good. So that's a few pitches you should target in your fantasy drafts. And I think they're going to have breakout seasons this year in 2021.